What's poppin', everyone? So in this video, I'm going to tell you the secrets of AWS. And I'm not even talking about Secrets Manager, the AWS service. I'm talking about AWS Free Tier Secrets. So many people know that free tier exists in AWS, and a lot of people utilize it to get their 1 year free of EC2 and stuff like that. But there's a lot of little known things that you can get with free tier, or that you can get for free without free tier. So I'll go over those as well. So if you utilize these tips properly, you can just live a life of joy forever until I guess your free tier trial expires, or you get a new trial off of a different credit card or something like that. I'm not condoning to do that, by the way, to get multiple free tiers off multiple credit cards, because I don't know AWS's opinion on that. So I didn't say to do that. I do not say to do that. So my first tip is to fully utilize the AWS free tier. So that means that every single service, or at least most services, have a free tier, and you can use all of them in conjunction with each other. So most people know you can use T2 micros for free for the whole year, but you can also use RDS free for the whole year in conjunction. So if you use all the services together, you're probably like saving like thousands of dollars a month or something like that. Maybe not that much, but it's a decent chunk of change that you could be paying for instead. So AWS even has this AWS free tier page. I'm not logged in right now, but 12 months free, and short-term trial offers start from the date you activate a particular service. So you could do this for even longer if you don't use certain services. So, and this will show every single free tier for every single service that has free tier. So if we look like at robotics, like not many people know that you get 25 SU hours for RoboMaker. So that's pretty cool. So I do want to focus on the compute section of AWS, since that is probably one of the most thought of uses of AWS, like the compute cloud and stuff like that. So many people know EC2, so just like running a server in the cloud, right? But RDS you can use for running databases as well, and it costs 25% more than EC2. So if you wanted to save some money, like if you're out of free tier, then you could just use EC2 instead of RDS, because RDS will cost 25% more even though they're running on the same server. And it's a similar thing with elasticache, where it costs 25% more, but if you're just using EC2, it'll just be cheaper. And it's kind of like similar with Kinesis and Lambda as well, even though Lambda is kind of a different animal. And speaking of Lambda, you get 1 million requests, which is free requests, whether you're on free tier trial or not, which is really awesome. So I really like Lambda. It's one of my favorite services, if not my favorite service. So I would recommend to get into it at least a little bit if you don't know anything about it. And I'll maybe make a video on it another time. And my #1 most recommended thing to do on the free tier is to triple click the like button on this video for the YouTube algorithm, as it'll help me a lot. So actually, no. The #1 thing I would recommend doing is, remember how I said elasticache and RDS were basically EC2, but kind of more expensive? Well, you get pretty much the same amount of hours on RDS and elasticache. So that's really where you get the big bang for your buck on these two systems. Like, they're both 750 hours, while if we go back to compute, EC2 is also 750 hours. So you get both of these for free. So if you utilize that, you get 750 hours, 20 gigs of general purpose SSD database storage, and 20 gigabytes of storage, backups, and snapshots. And elasticache, you get enough hours to run continuously each month. Wow, that's great. So another one of the really big used services is, of course, Amazon S3. So let me zoom in a bit. So S3, you get a lot of different things, and there's also a lot of other storage services like CloudFront, EFS, Elastic Block Storage, Glacier, which is pretty much S3 for long-term storage, and then Storage Gateway, hybrid storage. But anyways, most people are going to be using, of course, Amazon S3. You get 20,000 GET requests, 5 gigs of standard storage, which is a pretty good number. I think Google gives like 15 gigabytes of storage. So, I mean, I'm not saying to go to Google, but You can go to Google if you want. All right, so now I'm going to go through some more commonly used services because, of course, I can't go through all the services in the time that I'm alive because I'll just create one every second. But CloudFront, very useful for speeding up your website. So they have 50 gigabytes of data transfer out and 2 million HTTP requests. So if you're getting past this number somehow, then you have a really popular website. And congratulations, you've won. So actually, they have a lot more of always free services. You can always just free use like all the time. Like I mentioned Lambda before, 1 million free, but you also get 25 gigabytes for DynamoDB, which is an awesome service to use with Lambda. So they're really emphasizing this serverless stack of Lambda and DynamoDB as opposed to EC2 and RDS. And of course, you get SNS for sending cool notifications to people, CloudWatch for logging, Chime for unified communication service. So Incognito for user pools and stuff like that, Glacier for more storage, Macy protecting data, SES. The list goes on and on and on and on. So these are basically like free goodie bags. Code build, you want to build stuff, pipeline, code commit. So you get all this for free. Just goodie bags that AWS is handing out. And you know the real reason they hand this money out, or not money, they're not giving you money. But the real reason they're handing you this out is so that their competitors have a harder time competing with them, which it makes sense. I would do that too. So besides their 12 months free, and they're always free, they have something called trials, which let you use a certain amount of the service for a certain amount of time. So for example, like with SageMaker, if you're wanting to make some machine learning models and deploy images and stuff like that, then you get 250 free hours of T2 Medium. This isn't like the basic stuff. This is the good stuff right here. T2 Medium. You get EC2 T2 Micro, which is way worse than T2 Medium. So you get so many hours of that for 2 months, 250 hours, or 50 hours for large. Whoa, that's pretty crazy. So you get M4 extra large. Okay, that's even better. So I guess these are much shorter time periods because not many people are going to be using them, but you do get a lot out of it. So you get light sail, guard duty, 30-day free trial, comprehend, inspector. So they want you to get used to this. Oh, Redshift, we use that for like the big data certification. So 750 DC2 large node hours per month for 2 months. So it's okay, nice. So go ahead and use all this stuff. I dare you. So I was looking into the AWS free tier terms and conditions to find more about this getting multiple accounts for AWS. So I was looking here, and of course the first paragraph says like there's 2 kinds of free tier. There's one for the 12-month period, and then there's of course the offers and trials, which we saw for like large services that give bigger deals for shorter amounts of time, which is cool and all. But then it says, second period, the 12-month free trial is only available to new AWS customers. So this means that if you're signed up for the 12 months and then you make a new account, you're technically not a new AWS customer, so you would be breaking that here. So I'm not sure how they would find out about that. Maybe based on your address, your name, but AWS is pretty smart, so I'm pretty sure they have a way to find out eventually, and I just broke my pen. I don't know why. Maybe I was angry. But yeah, so they probably would find out eventually. Maybe if you use like your friend to sign up for your account or something, your significant other, your significant otter. So I'm pretty sure they would find out eventually, especially if you make more than like 2 accounts, then eventually like everyone has or a lot of people have multiple credit cards. So it's easy to do it, but I'm pretty sure they will find out. So I would not recommend it because I don't know the repercussions of it. Maybe your AWS accounts will be closed, like multiple accounts, but then again, it's probably not much just to have another free tier account in free tier. So it probably doesn't cost that much, but I would be warned not to do it. So another thing I found out about the free tier is that they have FAQs for the free tier. So common ones would be that you can be a Fortune 500 company and still be in this free tier. That's pretty cool. And of course, like entrepreneurs, small businesses, you can be all in the free tier. There are some limitations, of course. So for example, is not limited to specific use case. I remember, oh yeah, consolidated building. If you're using consolidated building, you can only do it one per account, which kind of makes sense. So one free tier per organization. So of course it doesn't roll over to the next month, unfortunately. So if I go over the free tiers limit in a given month, how much you'll have to pay, you're gonna still have to pay as you go, the general amounts that you're gonna have to pay. So just make sure you just understand what you're using in AWS before you spin up a bunch of EC2 servers for cryptocurrency, because I remember cryptocurrency is not allowed. They will find you and they will stop you. Yeah, don't do it. So don't mine cryptocurrency anyways with AWS. So most people, or many people, have tried to use free tier and then sometimes have accidentally strayed out of it. Well, AWS has an article where you can create a budget and then set up budget details. So you can configure an alert when your actual cost exceeds 50% of your budget threshold. So if you're spending any money at all, you can set up a budget to let you know, hey, you're spending money, and send up an email for that. Or maybe if your forecasted amount is too high for your budget, so you don't want to spend like any more than like a couple cents or something like that, more than 50 cents, then you can set that up, send that email to you, and then you can see. And you can review your budget at the end of the month or week, whenever you want to review it, to see if you're spending it and inspect your new budget. So I hope these tips help you out, and I wish you luck in your free tier adventure. Make sure you subscribe for more videos. I'll talk to you later. Peace.